Good evening. Welcome to Sky Yoga. Our focus tonight is warrior poses. We'll do a warrior series. So you might want to have a block handy if you are into warrior 3, the one where you're on one leg. But we'll begin as always with some breath centering pranayama. So find a comfortable seated position. It's often helpful to elevate your hips over your knees. Let your low body relax and be your support. And let your upper body rise up around your spine, kind of like the wick of a candle. Let your arms relax. And then tuck your chin down or back or both. We're getting the spine lined up. And then just pause here, sink into your posture and observe your breath. And then just choose one thing to be very intentional about. Two things that I usually choose are either relaxing my belly so I can breathe more into the belly, or making the exhale longer than the inhale, which is very relaxing. So just choose one thing about your breath to focus on and change. And now we'll transition into some cleansing breaths. So take a full deep breath down in the belly, fill up the lungs, and then exhale with some force from your ab muscles. Feel your abs scooping in as they push out that air. And one more, maybe you'll stick out your tongue for lion's breath. Great, and now let's drop the chin and stretch your neck. So you can just let your head hang or start with a slight wag. Just kind of shaking your head side to side, feeling the back of your neck stretch. And once that becomes comfortable, you can broaden that movement out to a big half circle, rolling your chin from shoulder to shoulder. And if that's comfortable, you can try the full circle. And try the other way. And then come back up to seated. And excuse me while I grab some water, or else I'll be coughing. All right, and now we're going to do that little neck stretch and self massage that kind of gives our immune system a little helping hand. So we're going to drop the right ear down toward the right shoulder. Pause here a moment, let your neck and shoulders relax. And then we're going to bring up the right hand and massage the left side of your neck. So you have to use the opposite arm. And you're just kind of dragging your fingertips from the base of the skull, where the jaw meets your neck, down to your collarbone. Just kind of smoothing out those muscles that get so tense there. You can continue to face the front, or maybe turn your head slightly. That's a bit too much of a strain on my neck. So I'm going to come back to the front. And just a couple more strokes. Oh, putting myself to sleep. And then we'll inhale back up to center and loosen the shoulders, and then go the other way. So your left ear drops toward your left shoulder. Pause, let your neck stretch a bit. And then the left hand massages the right side of the neck. So just heavily pulling your fingertips from ear to collarbone. Give yourself a little massage around those lymph nodes, helping your immune system do its job, and giving yourself a nice little neck massage. Always be gentle with your neck. And on your next inhale, come back up. Excuse me. All right. And now let's open the arms wide and reach up tall and inhale. And then palms down. Exhale. Inhale, reach high. Exhale and release. One more reach. Pause at the top, feel your rib cage lifted high, your belly stretching, and then with an exhale, twist to one side. So your hands on the opposite knee and one hand is behind you. Look over your shoulder, breathe. And on your next inhale, come back up to center, reach high, fill your lungs, and then exhale the other way. Looking over your shoulder and breathing. And on your next inhale, come back up, clasp your hands, turn your palms to the ceiling, stretch through your arms, and then we're going to drop one hand in side bend, making big circles with your arm. Next time your arm is in the air, reach up, breathe in, and exhale the other way. Side bend and arm circles. And then come back up to seated, and we'll do shoulder rolls. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Feel your shoulder blades moving, not just the tops of your shoulders, but all the way down to the middle of your back. Woo, and then change direction. I realize I forgot to change direction with the arm circles. Sorry about that. Woo, all right. All warmed up in the upper body, so let's come down to hands and knees and warm up the whole spine. So in your tabletop position, lengthen up through the arms, push your belly up, arching your back up into cat pose.
Really feel the space opening up in your vertebrae. And then exhale and push back. Feel the stretch in your arms. And then drop your elbows and pull forward. Lead with the chin. Inhale, and you're in cow pose. And then just keep flowing through those movements. Cat and cow. Exhale, inhale. And then we'll come back up to tabletop and proceed to thread the needle, shoulder stretch. So inhale your right arm high, reach for the ceiling. Look at that. My right arm is vertical finally. Hooray! And then exhale it down. Coming to rest on your shoulder and head. Hands palm to palm. Slide your left hand out. Reach. Really walk those fingertips. Feel the stretch in both shoulders. Let your lower body relax down, using your body weight to stretch your shoulders. And then with an exhale, you can wrap your left arm around behind you and roll your right arm on the floor. And now we're going to unwind the left arm using your palm to press up and inhale the right arm high and exhale it down. Changing sides now. Inhale your left arm high. Exhale to the floor. Resting on shoulder and head. Hands palm to palm, and then slide your top arm out. We're hoping to get the right elbow over the left palm or wrist, somewhere in that area. And then with your next exhale, maybe wrap your right arm around behind you and roll your left forearm along the floor. And unwind the right arm, press up. Inhale the left arm. Exhale it down. And now kickstand. Extend your right leg, flex your foot at the ankle, and then roll your foot around a couple times each direction. And then swing your leg out to the right. Coming down to rest on elbows and forearms, sitting on your left heel. And just let that right leg relax and sink down. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Reach out for your ankle. There are a couple different variations on the pose you can take if you like. I'm just going to keep it basic. But really relax, sink down. And then hand comes back, we lift up, knee comes back, and then we change sides. Extend the left leg, flex your foot, roll it around, roll it the other way, and then swing your leg out to the left and ease down to rest. Let your left leg relax and reach for your ankle. Hmm. Ah. And then bring your hands back, lift up, and bring your knee back, and we are ready for drunken cow. So from your tabletop position, take your body in these really nice organic swirling motions. Feeling it perhaps in your hips and shoulders like I am, or maybe somewhere else. And let's change direction. Paying attention to how that might change the way you feel. I can tell my hips are a little tight. And the next time that your hips are pointed back, let's open the knees wide, bring the big toes together, and come down into child's pose. You can always add a tricep stretch by touching your palms to the back of your neck. And then come back up, bring your thighs to parallel, and then swing forward into up dog with your arms straight up and down, or come down on your elbows for Sphinx. And let your belly extend and stretch. Ooh. And then come back up into tabletop. I'm going to grab my clock and my water. Let's get back. Let's come down on our backs and do a little back stretch before warriors, because warriors are really taxing on the back. So just lie on your back and hug your knees and rock side to side. And then hands on the knees, take them in big circles. This really promotes flexibility in the low back. And then circle the other way. And then we'll roll to one side and push up into a low squat, which is also nice for the low back. So knees bent in front of you, and then bring your arms in between your knees and just pause here, pressing your knees apart. You can kind of sway side to side or just remain static. I like this because it opens up the hip joints and also takes a load off the low back. And then we're going to drop the hands and slowly straighten your legs up into forward fold. And just pause here and forward fold. Straighten out your leggings. Touch your toes if you can. And if you can't touch your toes, this is a great time to have a block. That'll make you feel a lot more stable to have that block. So feeling the stretch all along the backs of the legs here in forward fold. And now we're going to engage the abs, the core muscles to protect the back and roll up. Feel how your back is protected by those strong ab muscles. Rolling up nice and slow. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders back. I won't have an invisible head for very long. There we go. Okay. So we'll start our warrior poses with the right leg stepping back. So left knee is in front of you, directly over your left foot. Here, I can do it like this. There we go. And then your Right leg is extended behind you and your right foot is pointed off towards a corner. I think I should flip around. There we go. I'll get this yet. All right. So left leg in front, right leg in back, and really sink down into it. Feel that stretch in your back calf. That's where I feel it. Let your weight come down evenly on both feet. So both feet are working. And then we're going to rotate the hips to the front. So you may have to move your left foot out a bit, have a little space between your feet so they're not on one track so you can balance better and get those hips facing forward. And then we're going to lift the arms straight up for warrior one and sink down into it. You probably straightened your front leg a little bit. That's what I always do. So we're facing solidly over that left thigh. Breathe. And now we're going to level out the arms. So your right arm comes back, your left arm comes forward. Maybe your feet slide a little further apart. Arms stay level. We're in warrior two now. And you can see I'm facing 90 degrees away from where I was. The hips are now open to the side. Sink down. Warrior two. Look over your left fingertips. And now we're going to drop the back arm. You can rest it on your back leg or wrap it behind you and lift the left arm high. Look up at it. This is reverse warrior. Sink your hips down. A lot of strength building in your legs here. And now bring your arms back, level, and now to the front, and we're going to clasp your hands behind you. They can rest on your back or lift up. And we're going to lower down your torso to rest on your left thigh. See how the left knee is directly over the left ankle? Like I said, arms can lift or rest. Right leg is strong and extended in the back. This is humble warrior. Another pose with relief for the low back. And then bring your hands down to either side of your foot. Lift your right heel and drop your right knee. And we'll ease back, grabbing your toes into a runner's lunge. So that was the short sequence. And next time we'll add warrior three, which is the one-legged balance pose where you might need your block. And let's make our way back up again. So take your time, come back up through a nice wide angle. Again, as you roll up, engage your abs. And this time we'll start with the right leg in front and the left leg behind. So your right knee is over your right ankle and your left toes are pointing away at a corner. You've got a hips width of distance between your feet, so they're not on the same track. Your hips are facing the front. You are facing your thigh. Once you've got that lower body posture down, raise your arms high for warrior one. Sink your weight down evenly into both feet. And now we're going to level out the arms. Left arm goes back, right arm just comes down. Maybe your feet spread apart a little more. And now the hips are facing the front, getting a nice stretch in the hip area. Look over your right fingers. Lift your toes up. Make sure you're not gripping the mat. You've got your weight sinking down into your feet, through your heels and the balls of your feet. This really stretches out the left hip for me. Now we're going to drop the left arm. It can rest on your leg or wrap behind you. Raise the right arm and look high. Or reverse warrior.
Level your arms back out, rotate to the front again. And now we're going to clasp the hands behind and lean forward, resting your torso on your right thigh. Check that your right knee is over your right ankle. Arms can come up high or stay on your low back, wherever you need them. Breathe. And bring your hands down, lift your left heel, drop your left knee. Start to ease back, grab your right toes with your right hand. Good job. So we made it through the short sequence on both sides. And now we'll come back up. Yes, we have time to go through again with Warrior 3. All right. So come back into your wide angle stance. Using your abs to lift you up. If you get lightheaded at any point, just sit down. Don't fight it. I don't want you to fall. Just sit down and join us when you feel better. There's always a recording. Okay. So we're going to go through Warriors again. This time with your block, if you want, for that optional Warrior 3 pose, about arm's length in front of your feet. We're going to have the left foot in the front and the right foot back, with a little bit of space between your feet and hips facing forward. And when you've got your posture ready, set, lift. Warrior 1, breathe. Level your arms out, Warrior 2, breathe. Reverse Warrior, breathe. Back through Warrior 2, to the front, arms behind and lower down into Humble Warrior. Breathe. Now you can stay here or come down into a lunge, or if you want to follow me into Warrior 3, bring your hands to your block or to the ground in front of you. We're going to slowly bring your right foot forward and straighten your left leg. And when your left leg is straight and you're on your right tippy toe, lift your right leg off the floor. And then when you feel okay with that, if you feel okay with that, you can bring your hands to heart center and try to level off your body so you look like a big capital T. Lost my balance. There we go. Okay, and this is Warrior 3. Feel how strong your left leg is, holding your whole body weight up. And if you're feeling more balanced, you can extend your arms to your sides or even out in front. Or just come down like I had to do. Nice. All right, let's take a moment to swirl your hips around or shake your legs out or whatever you need after that sequence. And we're going to switch sides. So putting your block in front of your right foot. Right foot forward, left foot back. Hips to the front. Yeah, sink down so that your right knee is over your right ankle. Your left leg is long and stretching. Hips are to the front. Lifting up your arms, Warrior 1. Breathe. Sink your weight down, level your arms out, Warrior 2. Breathe. Drop your arms and lift into Reverse Warrior. Level the arms, face the front, clasp hands, and lower down into humble warrior. And from here, you can either go into a lunge or bring your hands to your block or the floor in front of you. We're going to hop your left foot forward as your right leg straightens. When your right leg is straight and you're on your left big toe, slowly lift that left leg into the air. And if you find that you're stable enough, you can bring your hands to heart center and feel how strong your right leg is. Let your back relax down into more of a cow shape than a cat shape. And whenever you're ready, come down with dignity. Well done. All right. We need to come down and stretch the back again. Good job, everybody. Ooh. So on the back, hug your knees. And we'll do wet wash rag, my favorite back twist. So keep the left knee in, your hands around it, and extend your right leg. And just hug your left knee as tight as you can. And then take your left knee in your right hand and pull it across your body. We're going to tuck your left foot behind your right leg. Ah. Ooh, this is the wet wash rag part. I kind of skipped a step to get here, but we'll make it up. And you can look at the ceiling or look over your left shoulder. And then roll back to center. Hug that knee in again. Let your back relax. And now we're going to take your left shin in your left hand. This is what I should have done first. And open your leg out. And it's okay if you're just relaxed enough that your foot touches the floor, no worries. Let it happen. And then hug that left knee back in, nice and tight. And switch. Right knee comes up, left leg extends. Let your left leg totally relax. Hug your right knee as tight as you can. And now we're going to take the right shin in your right hand and open outwards like a book or wing. Really feeling a nice deep stretch in the right hip joint and the right inner thigh. This should not be too effortful. Really, just your right hand is grabbing your shin, and then the rest of it is body weight, your right arm and your right leg just hanging heavily to the right. If your left hip is trying to get off the ground, just put your left hand on your left hip. And then hug that right knee in again, nice and tight, and switch hands. So now your left hand is pulling your right knee across your body. Your right foot is tucking behind your left leg. And we roll that left knee toward the floor. Look up at the ceiling or even over your right shoulder. Feeling like a wet wash rag getting all wrung out. Imagine all that stress just popping out of your body like drops of water. And then roll back to center and hug both knees again. And rock gently here. And we'll end with knee down twist before Shavasana. So lifting your knees directly above your hips, your feet are just dangling, and we're going to drop the knees to the right. Place your right hand on top And look either at the ceiling or away from your knees over your left shoulder. And then rolling your head back to center, engage your abs, just like we did earlier, and pull your knees up to center, give them both a hug. And then lift the knees directly above the hips again. Don't skip that step, arms tee out. And we drop the knees to the left, and the left hand holds them down. And I feel that stretch in the outer right hip. Relax. You can look at the ceiling or over your right shoulder. And then head to center, engage core, knees to center, rock and roll. Yeah. And it's time for Shavasana. So come into your Shavasana pose. That might be legs fully extended, arms at your sides. That's classic, palms up. But if you need support for your low back, then bring your feet into your body and rest your knees together. Feet might come out a little wider than your hips if you're in this pose. Or place a cushion under your knees or whatever you need to do to get comfortable lying down. And let's relax from head to toe. Let your head just sink heavily backwards into the mat. And then let the front of your face go slack. Everything. Relax your forehead, eyes, cheeks, jaw, tongue. Let your whole face be soft. Because your head is supported, your neck can fully relax. Just let it go. And your throat as well. Let your shoulders sink back into the mat. And let relaxation flow down your arms. Coming to pool in your palms. And let that feeling flow down your torso through your rib cage, your abs, your back, down into your pelvis, resting heavy, your thighs and hamstrings going soft, your knees and calves going soft, your ankles fully relaxed, and your feet nice and soft. Just feel your whole body softening, soaking up the benefit of your practice as your breath flows in and out automatically. And take a big, deep breath, drawing fresh air all through your body to the tips of your fingers and toes. And begin making small movements at first. And then a little bit larger. And then doing one more nice thing for your back. Maybe a nice long full body stretch. And when you're ready, roll to one side, resting your head on your arm. And when you're ready, push up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.